Can you join our Vital GH Radio Sunday night talk show? We start every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let us talk about our motherland Ghana. It is fan. Use the link below to join.
Vital GH Radio has a wealth of experience executing the full spectrum of public relations tactics: advertisement, radio broadcasting, interviews, voiceover, jingles, commercials, and many more. You can contact us on our US lines on 3022-575152 or on our Ghana lines on 0546 494-885, or you can visit us on our website on www.vitalghradio1.com.
Let me say into voice, let me remove this and see. Kelly, what do you mean? I'm say, wait, let me see. It's not connected though. I think turn it off and turn it on back again. If you can hear. Oh, okay. All right. Once again, and then talk show. We talk about what is going on in your own country of Ghana and then the rest of Africa. No? Now, answer na yebeko what we have to do. No, ubia utie no pomodia se ubeshe. Na wakachire wadamfo so achire na damfo na we are not perfect, yeah, but deɛ yɛbɛte no nso na yɛn nso so yɛbɛtumi aka akyerɛ mu deɛ yɛbɛhu nso so ɛne yɛbɛkyerɛ mu ɛnɛ everything biara na yɛa na ɛyɛ true but nsɛm bi wɔ hɔ a sɛ nipa like nkurɔfoɔ bebree report that it means that there's some truth in it ansa ne yɛbɛkɔ no yɛ topic no ɛnɛ topic no yɛ why is it that ECOWAS no really no wants to go to war with Niger. There are so many Ubia can't what they know and everything Biano comes up, Ubisi say. But the main, won't tell me voice.
I said volume here very low.
Okay, let me try.
Your headset.
Well, what about now?
We share headset because we take. Oh,
okay. I don't know why.
Give me a second.
Let me see. So maybe I set it in here. Audio. It's always on. Let me test it.
Volume is extremely low. Okay, let me see. Settings. Audio. Default. Okay.
Try. Median the M say it's all the way up.
Okay. Who the ATI?
Oh, okay. But what do you mean, Ghana?
Set is now.
All right.
Okay. That's it.
We said last week, we talked about this, this a year about why ECOWAS wants to go to war, with Niger. Now, a lot of countries are backing out with this, war now. One kind of countries be brave. The one thing I think say Ghana has also backed out of this, I'm not sure, I'm not sure, but I heard it on the news to say Akufo-Addo didn't say they want to go to war. What I know is say Benin and Togo, they say there are only two countries which is say Gambia and Senegal, Mubako, and 1 year ready. I want some person joining Nigeria. The whole problem, is one thing. Enipa Bibri, I'm saying they are not talking about France, but the main reason, this. Let me go back to my, to show you the main reason. So you see this map, Kelly,
I try.
Okay. Map, say Nigeria want to ship their, they say they want to make a pipeline. The pipeline has to go from Nigeria, Niger, and Algeria, and then to Europe. So, we call Europe. Now, these people, Niger, and they sign a treaty with these countries, So, and we don't buy, they block this one from here to here. And Algeria for is backing Niger. So contracting they want the but they are backing Niger. Said Niger is a sovereign country. But you cannot go over there and destroy their country and first say, will pipeline will go through their land. Now, how much are they making? And before we do all these things, let's see what really happened about this particular idea. One, let's just say
Nigeria is a country in a rush. Its Trans-Sahara gas pipeline that's been on hold for decades is now active. Africa's biggest oil producer wants to cash in on rising gas prices as Europe looks to reduce reliance on energy from Russia.
We're in the process of building a pipeline, a gas pipeline from here to Algeria, targeting the European market. We are also building a pipeline from the West African gas pipeline to Morocco, also targeting Europe. So what the Russian and Ukraine crisis has created is additional market for our gas.
He says Nigeria can make up for supply shortfalls for many European countries, but would need more of their investments to speed up delivery. Global prices of gas have soared in the wake of the war in Ukraine, with Europe accusing Russia of waging an economic war. Nigerian officials say many European investors who've been pulling out investments in fossil fuels here are slowly coming back. The country has proven reserves of 206 trillion cubic feet of gas. Now it's aiming to triple that in 8 years, as interest in crude oil is waning. For decades, oil companies operating here treated gas as a nuisance, capping or flaring it. As the rest of the world struggles with high prices and shortages, Nigeria burns 30% of its gas every year, a resource it could be capitalizing on as developed economies look for alternatives to Russian supplies. Industry analysts say the current global gas supply challenges are an opportunity to grow the sector.
I think we should be talking a lot more about, increasing the LNG.
Members of the steering committee for the Nigeria-Morocco gas pipeline project are meeting at the conference room of the Ecowas Secretariat in Abuja to sign a memorandum of understanding with 4 additional countries.
The chair of ECOWAS, and then the
countries are Cote d'Ivoire, Liberia, Guinea, and Benin Republic.
This is a clear demonstration of the commitment of the host government.
Before putting pen to paper, the Chief Group Executive Officer of the NNPC Limited, Mr. Mele Kyari, underscores the importance of the project to the West African region.
As a commercial enterprise, NNPC sees this project as an opportunity to monetize our abundant hydrocarbon resources by expanding access to energy to support economic growth, industrialization, and job creation across the African continent and other geographies. Our collective decisions and actions, guided by our shared visions, will extend far beyond gas supply to spur prosperity and economic integration between our nations.
Okay. This is the actual pipeline. This thing has to go from here, from Nigeria, all the way through Niger to Algeria, Tunisia, and then it goes through. So you see the map now. Now, the point is this. This country, the person who signed that treaty was the old president who was disposed of last week. This thing has become, treaty now one signed was last year. But say no, and Akoba said, they thought the Nigeria thought it was going to be easy for them to just bypass and go through and do what they were supposed to do. Everything is money. They pump money into it, and then European countries will benefit from it, because then they are not going to depend on the Russian, in which also France also want it. So they want, and that is the main reason why now Nigeria is so anxious to go to war and make sure they put the other guy back. So then they can send their oil, gas through Niger, Algeria, and then distribute it to the European countries. There is one thing here, and I was watching somebody said about this thing. So, this place is Strait of Gibraltar. This is here. It's only 8 miles from Morocco
to Spain.
To Spain. It's 8 miles. So why can't they just build a bridge from here? Why? Because they don't want you to come over here. They don't. They don't want you to come. The bridge, it means to say people can drive across to
Europe.
Spain, Europe. They don't want that. They don't want you over there. Now, There is one person who said something. I'm also going to play it for you. No, she is the Italian Prime Minister, but what she's saying, no, is in Italy. But they will see the underneath it. No, and let me also let you listen to her, and then we come back and talk to. We'll talk about all these things. What is going on? No? Let's listen to this lady. I love her. I will go down. I will bend. I will kiss her foot. Let's listen.
I've been very much struck by the French government's aggressive reaction, which from my point of view is incomprehensible and unjustified. Almost 90,000 people have entered Italy since the start of the year. On the same day of our discussions about the Ocean Viking, 600 people arrived in small boats. But for 234 people, they've made diplomatic relations blow up.
Oh, I think I played the wrong, but she was blasting Macron. Say, won't work also the whole thing in Africa because you are squeezing them into the point to say these people can breathe. Their money, their resources, everything. French businesses. Now all the ones you tax them. The money has to be in Canada is here. So your money not so bad. You squeeze them and then take their money, and then the money now one kasadia baba to central bank in France. No. Taxi one with all these things. And these people are not making it. Niger has everything now, or they can survive. African countries can survive without these European countries. But because of some of our leaders, some of them don't have a clear mind. I don't know, the West didn't come and tell them differently now. And I don't know, because these people, I don't have any. Just say the West of economy, Ecowas, we see disbanding because I don't need for so. To the point, he said, Côte d'Ivoire, which is next door to us. This guy, no time, he's supposed to step down. Well, I amend the constitution to the point to say, or the MPP in the core, they say, Wasan Brandy, another one, also, and yet the MPP for the Beko, and Wasan Brandy, another political party, or they sign Arani, more Ecowas for no, Motiti. You didn't say anything about it. Gambia, Senegal president, he also started to do the same thing. And Kovon say, hey, wait here, we are not going to accept it. There are so many of these African countries where Togo, we were transferred for how many years? Benin, Kotiso. We are signing contract. So if you look at the contract now, Niger is only going to make 5% of whatever now 1 year, what to do 5%. Now, Momo French for 95%. Now, say, oh, be chrono, Sani a bonnet chrono. So the Oka said, be cry, 40%, cry, and 60 cry. What 5%? Does it make any sense? Now, more Ecowas for you all these things now, Ecowas. Munim. But you are not saying anything because we don't catch them and say, mom AIDS. Oil now move to Nigeria and the cotton. What do you do with the money? Just a moko in Kofu say, Mamo, your friend is saying, AIDS. AIDS, no one day, Mama, you're here, and you're free. You have to pay. But your mom allow a credit to do that. That's it. Just a anyway, Kelly.
As usual, with the Obadias, because of your friend Mauso Bolisa. With an assessor, yet think woman in Quan, yet another Sunday. Miss Dada, Miss Media, de piano, we make us a way and yammy, as far as the discussions here have a concern, we and yammy. India, a chance that one hour create sa platform. the fact we create our platform woman who chance Emma will be to send me Mami Canada anyone kasa butimi yetimi kan ya dream different from what a mainstream media kasa no we nyame and a example for each and every one of us yetie say nyame na wo hwehwe no wo no nyame na wo hwehwe no. So if you will be responsible and you will do what you need to do now, you will create a situation where goodness and mercy will follow you and everybody who comes around you. The cost no, cost because a lot of us are very irresponsible, and because we are irresponsible, no, yen kind of no, ama the cost Africa, a bibi maimu all over the world, no, cost and ya for and a year bread. Oh, and it's getting worse and worse and worse by the day because there are a few of us who are greedy, who refuse to speak the truth, yet the nyamesom are drowning to the point say we can't reason and speak the truth and save our people. Now that will be a question, me say, why is ECOWAS doing what they are doing? Well, ECOWAS, as it's constituted, ever since ECOWAS was constituted, no, was NATO's puppet. It was NATO's puppet. Who is NATO? Let me tell you.
No,
who is NATO? NATO is a North Atlantic Treaty Organization. At the very core of NATO, no, are the Western friends say superpowers. You have the United States of America, you have France, you have the UK, and basically the Western European countries and their friends saying offshoots. Because US came out of England and part of Europe. It definitely know that is NATO. What is the purpose of NATO? Yeah, people who say NATO is a peaceful organization. NATO has never been a peaceful organization. NATO has always been there for the furtherance of Western culture, to meet Western needs, Western geopolitical friends and policies. And what is their policy? Their policy is to subdue the world to their benefit.
Plug it back in or select different mic. Click the mic button. Mic button.
I'm Canada. What do you mean? You're too how?
I'm trying to my laptop no me you know me mic no nye dwuma papa entina amama use we no. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Say me use my phone no, na can person me use my laptop no, but it's okay.
All right. Okay.
Nti me use phone no.
All right. You're too don't worry.
So pretty much no. They are there. Okay. NATO has been built and has been weaponized, okay, to basically subdue the world. And the way they subdue the world is through democracy. That's the first thing they do. Through democracy, the democracy in far, then they use arms and war. It is the moon and that is what they are really there for. And they form all these organizations, the Commonwealth, ECOWAS, all these small bodies almost forming. They form these organizations so that they can influence different parts of the world, Asia, Oba Africa, and then they find within these organizations certain enemies within. I call them enemies within, because these people are more European than even the African. They follow the British, the French, so on. If you are not following them, was moving away from them, they don't want to have anything to do with you. And every African country, they will all tell you the same thing. So a plan, a system, build to and most of our people are ignorant of this. Wow. And in a nutshell, that is ECOWAS for you. ECOWAS, as it's constituted now, is a puppet of the NATO. It is almost attack your friend saying, Niger. No, anyone. They are really going to get back Niger for their puppet masters. That is simple. The omo keke kenyina no enye yi ever say ni na the smoke screen. And that at the very heart of the Ecowas, one of the main reasons, I know now they are to know. Sa pipeline yi, that how they imagine say wow to fie. Na me Kelly my beka cho say that me person me ye pipeline be any gas if me fie me be am war bear. Any farm Middletown, Echo Maryland. Na me who say the best route no say be the befa ofie. It's because of that no. Meaning say wo won pe obema wo ma ho kwai to. Na ma starting na wo yere. Ma starting influence wo yere. Say e be tu ade so. Sine be ya yes, sine be ya betimi nya de mepe. That is what these people are doing. So, and they've been doing it forever. And that I can say me so say Italian friends, a politician in your kind. That prime minister. That is the truth of the matter.
So I have to show you.
That is the truth of the matter. France has decided, say, Africa is forever going to be her bread basket. Omono, they will give us one, and then they will take two. Who a French African country, no? You literally have to do everything through France. And France will always be the beneficiary of whatever activity, endeavor that you engage in. And no nama ya for dudwana de bia na omufa Libya, so omoko abroche, and omgo kofa a Morocco. Dudwana and kudru, dada, ye kududwana on the desert.
Of course.
And it's because our people are desperate.
Automated software that could make passive income for you. You've probably heard about ChatGPT and these.
Un bambino che lavora in una miniera.
Okay, go ahead. Let me try for Italian Prime Minister.
Our people are desperate. Dada, under what circumstance should a continent as rich as Africa have people who are so desperate to the point, say, they have no choice but to risk their life, limb, just to go for greener pastures. Greener pastures, this one, and on the Africa, hono. It every time you are bansuno, banwa be say asasi, shred the galam say aye asasi. So, this is at the core of why ECOWAS is moving against Niger, because Omunim said Niger is very strategic. Niger has uranium. Niger has gold. Through Niger is the shortest route to Europe from Nigeria. So if they are not able to subdue Niger, it means to say all their diabolic economic plans will not come to pass. It's with the advent of social media, WhatsApp, a friend saying Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Thread, with the advent of these media, the media space has been democratized. It means to say, it used to be say you could only listen to certain pieces of information from a few, your friends say, allowed platforms. Back in the day, they were GBC Pel. The GBC knew how would be TV Biabium.
All statistics on the upon 10.
So it's in news now, would see crapono. A limited. Recently, let me see a Ghana friends radio station. And people were saying, say, Kumasi, for instance, information now a Kumasi for Etino. A limited. Just the media space, a particular party has decided, say, they would definitely not let people hear the truth about what is really happening in Ghana. So most of our people in Kumasi and Ashanti region, Akanland, they don't hear most information also about you. It's a more social media now, most of my margin say, you are doing your country a disservice. The Ecowas war Niger, it will shock you, say, they are not hearing the truth of what is happening.
Mm-hmm.
That as some now who can see no, we just saw Joy News, saw a City FM. That is all better as me I can platform is what. What's it?
Yeah, we are not going to hear that.
So it you know, Mona Muti na my margin say, oh, me yes I say I have certain affiliations into me kind of kernel. You are not doing yourself any service because that when you find say NATO succeeds in influencing ECOWAS to attack Niger. That when two elephants fight, it is the grass that suffers.
Of course.
Niger is going to suffer.
And
it's not going to be just Niger. It is going to be the surrounding countries in the Sahel. Because you see, I know Burkina Faso also say on your friend is saying Guinea say on and at the end of start here, definitely Mali, Chad, almost the room because it affects them as well. Algeria, the room. And I will say at the core of all this is mineral resources. China, any Russia, any now to a larger extent, BRICS are also interested in the area.
Oh, now since I say I don't want to cut you off. When you say Soviet Union, let me say Soviet Union, Russia, all these countries now on area, Sika now on the Russian, forgive them, which was $23 billion. What about the European countries? One Sika now on the these people are suffering, that you are not even helping them to do all these things. What you do is to put your army base in your country and do what? The army base never one country, for what? So they get your control. Army Canada,
yeah, me home.
All right.
But from a up now, Mammy Canada saw him. See that the air course on war. I said, ye queen, and silently, our people are suffering silently. And you can't say knowledge is power now. This is what they mean as knowledge is power. Because knowledge is my inquire. For lack of knowledge, my people perish. When you can, there are a lot of our people they are rallying behind NATO, ECOWAS, and there are people. There are people who kromo. I name no kreno. Oko social, oko WhatsApp chat and so on. Oko tie dem kofo ya ko school ye woni die ye dru chire. Oko tie dem kofo yi Canada asefem.
Yeah, I don't listen to.
So, if you know, me wrap it up. I'll say it as I say.
Now, you also be rap. And now you.
Let's have a back, but I mean, just to give a space for Mami Canada to also come in. I'll say it as I say. NATO is influencing ECOWAS. The entire ECOWAS special call Nigeria T3. Any all the other countries are almost supporting. Abidjan, La Côte d'Ivoire. That how can say be? They are constitutionally okay. Yeah, they are using unconstitutional ways to cause coup d'etats. Senegal, your friend saying Ivory Coast, Nanado is doing the same thing, but Ghanaians don't realize it. Their ECOWAS with our Bank of Ghana, Japan deals, all these things that they are doing, they are unconstitutional. It's tantamount to a coup d'etat.
And there we say unya chance kutie kwaku ba ho. Ana your friend kwaku ba ho ana.
Your friend say enye kwaku ba ho. Enye the odi 70 years masa.
Okasa with a hoarse voice.
A hoarse voice. Okay, Minkai.
Oh, me. He said something. He had there be a friend Abdul Wahala.
Abdul Wahab. Okay, I just all good FM, man.
Yes, and he also narrated everything. Always when he's talking now, you have to listen.
You have to listen. Okay.
Yeah. Abdul Wahab.
Abdul Wahab, make a question. Did that one say? And I make say it may kind of me refer BS a council because the discussing now it's in line with Black Star Revolution. There are the need for us to push knowledge. So and not just can't but knowledge that we can actually act on. Kedada, we are see a way, buy for main reason. You hear partnership be one kwa. Act, you wa hey. So, Ank, instead of cross, maybe cross, maybe African cross, and no can say ube wu and sana we did there. It is the cross when Niger and say, almost in Kwemu, but they are zombies. They are one of the poorest people on earth. So they are living dead. And they hear someone say, yen ebi before, you best say adwin, where you think grass symbol. It just say, yes, say adwin. Bible no matter what say. Your friend said, you shall be transformed by the renewal of your mind.
Right.
But before we can say that you nimu
Of course.
Yen nananum nim, enu nie. Sisa wadwin. Ena yen sankofa. Osadefo can say, osadefo kwame kuma can say. I was saying, you're coming up with a system of governance, in line with your culture, or no friend scientific socialism. It is answer with democracy now, Modia Bana, to say, Modia Titia Pansam Africano, but Bana, ye where system did that. Yes, Sankofa your culture, yes, Sankofa yen who say, until say, ye beji ye who di, and then we'll have knowledge and we have belief in our own systems. No, Dada, you better them you never go about this. Abrofo be di abrosa. It's a from abrofo no. Obedi abrosa and abro no mudi esisia no. Omudi abro because yen yenum bi. Omo pesa mu emekunya omo pesa omo nyenti no. Omo de omo ho akobo sankofo yi osadefo woni yen. It's yen sankofa. When if we East Africa, Ujama, I say yen creating your businesses. Now say your businesses ye creating your benefits. Yen fam boy your home. When ye group economics, it just says a bit near where's free East Africa. So me near business at the very least, being born modern say let's support me near. So it is Niger for Burkina Faso for Guinea for Mali for Chad for who said no. The way a system ne connect boam. Yen funny say omo governance no omo free incorporation a business. Now business no wo ho say e be boam. Yen nia ye gina in China. Yen pressure and bear on these governments. Nanado, Nigeria for Cote d'Ivoire for most sorry. Now you're supporting union because the Ecowas of Africa is here. I was say Ecowas. Now you're GFA who ye in reality every sample for himself. Now me the me fepa was idea we when way. And also the incredible emancipation. So I was say emancipate your home. And in about 3 years, 4 years, Ghana will be 70 years old. That's when the 70 years old. That's a to me and share one man. Who your mind? I was saying emancipate your home, but for that emancipation to happen, but Malika said, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. It's extremely possible. So one now bet now, bet me at nas and one dream say, assembly a ye king and boame, idea ye chemi and boame. It is very important. Say, wouldn't panel say a best start here. It starts with you, and every time you remember platform is make koswaka. Say it is not enough. Say Uber dream just wo any will busia ho, any will tribe ho. To say baby I didn't do is beyond that. So it's beyond that. It's not just Ghana again. It is Ghana and all the 54 countries, and also the diaspora. Oh, it is the Ecowas no. Yes, sorry, Tiano. Why? Manuesi.
So the question I mean, one more want to say, what does the coup in Niger mean for democracy in West Africa?
It means to say they are sending a clarion call. They are saying, the old ways of doing business or governance in Africa, is over. It also means to say France cannot continue to impose their France-Afrique Pact, on Francophone Africa. And Francophone Africa is one of the poorest countries in the world. But just like the Anglophone countries, they have all these resources. But Aqua said that Mami Canada, we will funnel how can make sure. Also, offer funnel, that's wouldn't so any point of the funnel now. It trickles to the same spot. France and the West have built a funnel. It is just and the biggest part of the funnel is democracy. So, and democracy, World Bank, and then they come up with all these things. For instance, what's the LGBT at the end? What's about starting AUSU and the punishing for? Because Omunim said it goes against your culture. And anybody that will come that is not of the West will be against LGBTQ. It took Uganda, also the fully democratic. It's your own pet. Oko Rwanda, they are not fully democratic. It's your own pet. So, they are going to use that LGBTQ idea, they are going to use the fact that you're not a democratic country, to force you to do their bidding. It is Ubisa question. Say, what does it mean? It means to say they are sending a message to France. Say, no, we are not going to go according to your rules anymore, to your contracts. For another example, if a French national, or a French, they said me say, if I say me American, right? Say, can be a France ni me tuba na me France na me pay more France. France for France for businesses. Who say most of the big corporations are French African. They are Francophone countries, so because of pacts now more no. Almost first right of refusal. It is uranium mining. If I say almost we more uranium mines, do not know France for. Who is about your taxes for Niger? They don't pay taxes. Obutia tax out of France, but they don't pay tax in Niger. Whether you are a citizen or not, your taxes. Your taxes. So that is another thing that they are fighting against. And the biggest earners in these countries, they are French people because we are multinationals. But almost your taxes. So this is sending a message to the rest of Africa, say France, who owns most of the colonized countries in Africa now, will not continue to do business like they've done. They are also saying, the CFA, they don't want the CFA to be constituted as is. France, as we speak, is taking $500 billion every year from Africa. Mami Canada, $500 billion is Kakitwa.
And you see, Kakitwa. Now the question, may know, and your money be brave. Again, we say, what is driving the power struggle in Niger? So many things. I've been reading it, I have been listening, and I have been trying to educate myself. Now, how can France afford it? In fact, I mean, ever since Mititi, you be from one the way I want to see Nipane, money. But the question is, how can we, unite as an African country?
Charity begins at home.
How can we do that?
Charity begins. Also, Black Star Revolution we started. We say unite and emancipate African diaspora. We started Black Star Revolution. We say unite and emancipate Africa and African diaspora. Empower our people through knowledge.
Two European nations are at war. A war where the words exchanged are mightier than actual weapons. You'd be familiar with these two leaders. One, a nationalist prime minister whose coalition came to power with a thumping majority and her no-nonsense approach, making the European Union uncomfortable. And the other, leading the largest nation in the European Union, promising a new era Macron
Oh,
finds
okay.
himself cornered thanks to a mountain of challenges staring at him. The Macron versus Maloney exchange has now taken a turn that's just more than indirect jibes. But why are the two even fighting in the first place? Hello and welcome. I am Shubhangi Sharma, and you're watching First Post. Before we get into the details, let's look at Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni's latest remarks.
Questo si chiama franco CFA. È la moneta coloniale che la Francia stampa per 14 nazioni africane, alle quali applica il signoraggio e in forza delle quali sfrutta le risorse di questa nazione.
Giorgia Meloni says that France exploits the resources of African nations. That is some serious talk by Meloni, whose disdain for France and Emmanuel Macron is growing by the day. With her latest remark, Meloni has hit out at France for the exploitation of African nations, that too on live television. And she doesn't stop there. Her concluding statement will make the theme of this tussle very clear.
Non è prendere gli africani e spostarli in Europa. La soluzione è liberare l'Africa da certi europei che la sfruttano e consentire a queste persone di vivere di quello che hanno.
Meloni has made it clear that African nations have to be.
Mami Canada.
Yes.
Mami Asemna na Mami Nakano.
And at the end of quarry. And at the end of quarry, who will stand up and get at
Mami Canada, you and I.
And the whole thing, as you said, you made mention of we for Nakasana Yankai whom would you agree by we be saying no would it sounds see Yankasa
Mami Canada, you and I. Most people don't realize that the American Revolution is started with a handful of people. They met in a room and decided. Malema, South Africa, there were 8 of them. 10 years, they are in 10 years or more EFF by they are on the verge of becoming the major political party in South Africa. This is ANC focus rule. So it's in one. And they be a say, I don't know if I say be a sumnyame, me obi oni mi pen himself sumnyame.
Be assuming nyame, and can.
But the meme can say, the minute you accept, say you are a God and a child of the Most High, you have so much awareness and belief in yourself to the sense that when you say, no matter what you start, it may take 10 years, it may take 20 years, it will come to pass. It's in right now, no. The role my established at the end as a religion is say everybody, especially who say Abraham, are very smart. Almost the religion have in mind, and then me you from Mexico, you call Latin America, you call Mexico, you went around that area. Would you sorry, especially the Catholic Church are a war. It is so bad to the sense that their indigenous culture, they've forgotten about it. You put the you speak a casa. Almost traditional languages, names, that is how bad it is. So how religion also be their brain also say, always seek a savior, obimbe save you. So no be a kasana or if you have also how do we do it? Who is going to do it for us? So, but then Osajifo Kanye or say, or he said something very similar to what Kennedy said. Don't ask what the country can do for you. Ask what you can do. Maybe they may buy and a Black Star Revolution. Besides the confusion my bottom. So small. You have to understand, say, if it is to be, it is up to me. Nobody else is coming. Meantime, Nanado. Meantime, a certain meantime I can for. Meantime, a tricasa kwasi Miami Kum Casa. Make me throw tree. But that before the do for. I cannot hate them. So, but at the end of the day, no, it is imperative, it is important that you speak the truth, whether it's coming from the voter region, it's coming from anywhere. Also, Tia said, what is happening? No? anya one family member, one of my family members will suffer. So, if it's to be, it's up to us. Yeah, it's idea we wrong. Don't underestimate the power of your influence. And because Stone Boy show, Minister Stone Boy Kokasai, when you are doing something, don't forget, don't think that it doesn't reach far, especially with social media. You don't know who is watching you. If you wouldn't be in the crowd, that is said your video, yeah, boy. Wouldn't say for a lot of people, this is the first time they are seeing that video. So that what if you didn't play it? Obiante. So you see how powerful you are. So Mami Canada, if it's to be, it's up to us, and I'll continue to say it. And Adiabakusa mechanic say with Black Star, Adiabaku, one of our keep philosophies in say, if we get 20% of us, if I offer nipa 10 and a nipa 5 a cry, na unya emu bako, na or ye fervent revolutionary, main cancer kofa bomb, kofa two. Revolution is what's the sawajing? You live by all these principles here. Ubuntu signal your party. I know, sir. When we take all these things, so in this lifetime, let's say be obe and sa wenyankwa. Uti kwemu this lifetime. Ube sawajing, ube sankofa, ube dream ye as a business. Now what I say, ye na ebe boom, na ye business together. You better empower your home, and then we will seek to emancipate ourselves. Wow, the day beer every time me catch your Mr. No pay beer me devotion for me tell me basse or yame. Ubaya sa nyama we now. Not unya sanko for nipa bako out of 5. And they go with this over time, you become an influence. And our people will start moving forward. But until then, let's see, every time we are always waiting for somebody to come and save us, Noah, which is what these white people have taught us, Noah. And tumunda, embasso. It immediately who meka. If it's not true, I'll say it. If I lose friends because of that, so be it. They shouldn't be my friends to begin with because they're not truth-telling people. This is how people who know as and found. So long as I know now to you, mommy, AD.
Of course.
What me cry? Because I don't have to deal with a fake. Because it is such people who are making our society unbearable. So it is high time, say, we start speaking the truth. We start telling this truth to power. I was say, Mam Nanadu who said, Yo, and finance a crime so. Everything that we know as a people. I was say about Alassane Ouattara, Tinubu. Also, Yemani who said, you don't go attacking another African country on behalf of the very people who are keeping you down. But say one casa somewhere, you are complicit. Who can we be? So
ayi sa general na wabisi and wabasisi our person will take you over Niger. No? The question is ni mana or de bano. So people know. I know say some will like some won't see me TNA baby. Yes, you know former peacekeeping
mame nkyerɛ wadeɛ baako adeɛ baako aha na before sɛ wobɛba no ɛne sɛ you didn't see brand okay saa deɛ we say the main reason why ntia Nigeria for Ecowas em say na woni ha ana start here
no
so wahu saa map yi wahu saa line here da here okay there's some pipeline a gas ebeko from Nigeria to Niger Algeria and then to European countries all right. Sadly, we say one sign or contract from one sign between these 3 countries, last year. Sa pipeline we say no. Ebe fahan. Winim sika wumbetia ema these people less 5%. Nigeria for pumping more oil than the could do her. Algeria for either it goes to Europe and all these things goes to France. The European countries, and a better benefit from Yinba. When because only say at the end of the day, again, this cabin open. But how say ya more line China, I'm a one for the name for her. I didn't be through this area. In Drew. It but president na or war na or sign contract, so this particular contract. So what you say? It is say, yeah, Ghana, like Kelly was explaining, say, be or be. Now, also the pipeline, a befa, a bre, a fancy could over. But pipeline, a family fee. So, the at the end of a family fee, at least, you have to sign some contract. You say, okay, at the end of a family fee, at least, no, some baby womb. And now, men crop for being a baby womb. And no one want to hang, they don't make anything because of what the president has signed. I'm a French for no. It is French for no. Just say all these areas, French territories, Niger, Algeria, Mali, Togo, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, and Senegal.
Yep.
One you pay and one use to safer French CFA. Now one head office is say one you be as one called deposit scan for France. Now one normal one any so they won't carry normal and the bar no the baby see one banks now. French for tax one. Yet
the ever for the tax one.
Ever fine.
Mr. Pipeline now mobile for now and the tax one now kakrabi no motuama.
Say when in Nigeria for who said benefit no Nigeria for be benefited from this going here. And the Nigeria for going to make some money. Algeria for us who will benefit from Saudi, but Nigeria for no.
Why?
Yeah, the idea before now at the end, you also on TSC
because the point in say Nippon or idea knowing very well say and benefiting why say
because
they are
even benefiting more from the deal than the country
itself.
So, and that is what is happening in Ghana.
Who signed it?
The last president here too.
I only saw Yarekra, one friend, whatever name.
They one it doesn't care because one of the sign this contract, or Niger for one. It is a Niger for one will not benefit any crowd. Uranium I want to from more than why are they not benefiting in Niger for one?
This is what happens. These people, okay they are agents. According to Obia, one would agriculture, or neglect agriculture in Ghana. They've neglected it because much of it, they are importing the things. So if there's a good market and we have a good supply in Ghana, Noah, that means that their import business in the bedding, to be tracked. So they will create the systems in such a way, say, it will benefit them and their family. And the whole point of it is for their family to continue to do it, to be in power. Because in the name the inam. So the more money they have, the more power they have. So that is the whole point of it. So you only have a few people to say a Japan deal inside and number you buy. Who say it was just a very small number of people who were doing the deal, but they will present it as it's going to benefit everybody. But that's not the case.
So how would the coup end?
So the coup, they say they've come to stop all the projects. Also, almost by the first thing they did, say they abolished the constitution. That's the first thing they did. Okay. They put a freeze on the constitution, which is what happens every time.
Right.
And then deals now most signing and when they abrogate the deals and they review it. So if they are telling you, say, oh, it's not good, and you're not correct, Minuka say they've instituted an interim government, which is led by a prime minister who is not a military man. But Akwai say
you have a strong man in the house. To Jimia, William say, one of the a technocrat. Normally, politicians are just technocrats. So, it's but you have the real power in place, which is behind the politicians. So they have the prime minister, they have the minister of foreign affairs, they have all these other people. But the real power in the country is the army. Oh, it is on all banners or Bejimia. Guess what happens? The army will step in.
Okay.
That is the situation.
Oh, hold on. Okay. Now, maybe about 1 minute. I did Cynthia radio. I didn't know all the French country, French colonial countries, Africa, they all want the French, to leave. This is one thing that you have to understand. Argentina, Mali, Senegal, all these African countries, Burkina Faso, and all of them, wants the French, particular, to leave the countries. This is one thing that you have to understand, because French, if one is squeezing their neck so much, so say they can't breathe. It is a okrama so what the krama de ni bre ne kawo enya se wo krama onam ho ana ye no krama na be kawo okrama wo de ni bre ne ka adentina won countries ni nyina ye tu won president ni nyina because won president na won ho no won mo country with their benefiting French for no won de kakra kwa ni ama won kakra no won de agogu won bank account no won no busuafo no di na won atete ho no ebre say udi ehwe British for there's one thing a British one yeah which is we understandable they say they get at the same no you ja no we say we soon na tiko say we the uncle the baby
Felicia Saka
and just who mo just say okay now French for us they have done a lot of nyama okay, but they are still there. So, like the guy in the kind say, they don't want the Africans to, say your best CD, but they don't want say nyama umbenya enuntino. They don't even care. Say a crony bekoso and I just because the crony koso they will lose all their money now because only live mostly on
hello okay
yeah okay
so what you say
me too
na me na minya phone call na Felicia from me
okay
so would you tie na say the next a Chad.
Oh, Chad is already Kikamba.
Chad.
That whole region,
yeah.
One
can say the next one a Chad. Then no a friend saying Congo, Brazzaville, and Angola. And then no Ivory Coast, which is the Ivory Coast grand I think he tuned a long time ago. Ivory Coast Wasam Watara.
So that means that means it's a leader sitting na a microphone you the leaders no.
Yes, you know, say two leaders.
Mami Canada. Mami Sasa. Pacho, why the vote Nana do into power?
Well, in Nippon, one going on a vote yes on pen.
And they voted him in mostly because of ignorance. He said, "Who say my TA sending friends submissions are HSA. They are deliberately misinforming most people. Those people don't realize what is going on. And tonight, these discussions now you're having are extremely important. I'll even recommend say, Obi Autibiano, you really show them Patromofa link and Mofa to group chats also. Because there are a lot of radio stations that you are posting on those links. I can tell you, say, they are not posting what needs to be posted. Information on what they want is skewed. No Caribbean. So, Sisiano, Alassane Ouattara, for instance, okay, he is the jewel of Burkina Faso has always been the jewel of Francophonie. So almost person mo institute be almost the fact Burkina Faso from Ofebuayin Mesu from the colonial times na kusine. So it is the people that are voting these so-called leaders into power.
Yeah.
It is the people that make us said, it is up to you and I. Okay. It means you know say me party bi ofi no bi ba. Answer be fear no. Ye be kasa say mu kakra. At least we discuss it a little bit. Because meaning say side information and you told Chima, you can't forget it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and Opisa also say generals no. Who say surprisingly most of these generals were trained by the West too.
Mm-hmm.
Guinea.
According as you and a peacekeeper.
Yes.
Robert take you over. No?
Yes. They were trained by them to do their bidding. And so it is a soldiers now after all this, after and me papa no soldier ni. It is they call a diplomatic missions and they do that to win their influence. What would they mention? It is so for these soldiers to now turn against them, no. It should tell you, say, say, ye did that ye, but you go for bread.
Why is it the soldiers and why not ordinary civilians who also will be like, you know, and now the only get to they can't do what they
do. I know they say when me say
and America
Tama Rollins
that is what I'm bringing all that back to Rollins.
They say you but what they we say no dear. What the number of people are backing support to for Niger for no.
Almost fix the country about Ghana say omukoye demo no Ghana for
no.
They would have brought pressure to bear on the government to start looking at the this is how democracy works. Democracy, no, power flows from the people, but our people don't know this. Our people are very ignorant of how democracy really works. The real power in democracy, it is a man to set me responsible now. Guess what happens? Then the power now resides in the hands of these people who are there for their own good.
So now it's supposed to be blamed for instability in West Africa. That one I can say that.
What's it?
You see, that means it's France to be blamed for instability in West Africa.
Simple and period.
The point you say that anytime they are one country, they put their army in there to support one normal. The same thing with United States. United States has army bases in all the African countries.
All over the world, actually.
Countries. The reason why they should have the US base army in Ghana. What is the reason? That's right. No, they're trying to control you. So what you say? A designer French for no 1 year. Would they go back and read about Haiti? Haiti granted the
poorest country in the whole world.
1 year Haiti.
The poorest country in the whole world.
They are still charging these African countries colonial fees and all that.
And they say it's punishment because Haiti was one of the first black countries to defeat them.
They made sure say to the point to say they were paying them all these fees through a year.
It's very annoying because and also is something that I think France is not doing a good job because if right now we are blaming what are you doing to make stability?
France, the US, China, Russia, all these people would do what they are doing because we are not doing what we are supposed to be doing. I would say that sense of outside focus of responsibility, you know. You have to understand how that system works. It puts responsibility on entities outside of you. Se papa ba nyame na ye wo nipa na ade ne affect no de we a spectator. The Chinese don't think like that too. Confucianism. Take any basic book on Confucianism. Kind of read it. What kind India, the Indian Vedas, and what kinds of there's a reason why India, China, and those people are doing so well because they have accepted that they are gods. They are the saviors that they seek. They're not waiting for anybody to come and save them.
Okay, wait, Kelly, 1 minute. Muncha Sadi we see.
Africa had a role to play. It has a role as a raw material producer. We will not allow sub-Saharan Africa to escape that. Okay, we do everything to keep sub-Saharan Africa where it is, also impoverished. It's absolutely vital for the prosperity of everyone else. So let's get clear about that. Okay, and this means all the economic structures, all the global institutions, and the economics we teach everyone is all designed to keep Africa exactly where it is. And whether it is Europe or US or now China, it's always the same. We need Africa to be impoverished because we need those raw materials and we need them dirt cheap. Okay, so that's the message. It doesn't mean to say that there's nothing Africans can do. Of course there is. Okay, but this is the opposition that they're fighting. This is what it's about. Because if Africa does do something different, I assure you living standards of all those in Europe and North America and Asia is going to fall. Okay? And that is a big price to pay. I assure you that.
But what was that? Mamina, Italian prime minister. The reason why she's upset, they say, Italy, small Italy, no, because it's mainly an island. It gets the brunt of what? Exodus of Africans. What do you say? And why are Africans? If Africans don't have a need to leave Africa, or maybe me can't be say if I can make 60% of Sikami Okuma Hanwa, you go to Africa. They go to Africa. But what do you see is happening? It's Mamini Woeful because they are saddled with a problem, and guess what she's doing? She is going to the roots of the problem.
Or catch them.
We are not going to the root of our problems because we are woefully irresponsible.
And yet, Onunkwane, the only country, Turkey. Turkey are the same thing.
The same thing.
The problem with Africa is France. And then
it's West. France and the West.
Okay. So that is what I'm asking. Is France to blame the instability in West Africa?
Yes, but France,
any United States, any European countries, any instability, because
the US.
One form another group of there was a time there the thing was between US and then Soviet Union. Country has Soviet Union for no US for no could to president,
president. Of
course, Kwame Nkrumah said US for too.
Me wo article be video. Dada, me video. Okay, article now, when they removed Nkrumah, Africa's dream died right there.
Of course,
it died. And what I mean, because it is not just Ghana that has suffered, though. It is the entire continent of Africa that has suffered. Okay? When Nkrumah was in power, Martin Luther King ever seen Ghana. The way Martin Luther King was talking changed. If you think I'm lying now, go and listen to Martin Luther King's speeches before he went to Ghana. Malcolm X ever seen Ghana. When Nkrumah was in power, W.E.B. Du Bois of Ghana.
He's buried in Ghana.
Yeah.
So all the big people in Pan-Africanism, they used Ghana as a port. So by cutting Nkrumah off, they literally extinguished Africa's light. And yet agro and a yedi. So in some year cano. And maybe the Mr. Debbie can say, Upulia, won't you be out to you? You're always looking at what tripped you. So until say you better accept, say we are irresponsible. And like this woman is doing, go to the source of the problem.
Go to the source.
Go to the source of the problem. And maybe can say, even in the Bible, there's written say, a strong man, a thief does not go to a strong man's house. It's in the Bible. Obi ufoso obi ba me fie no o yewi no nim say me wo tuo ene nyamanyama o be fie ha omba. But because our people are so weak spiritually, mentally, psychologically, and I'll say it is because of the programming. This whole nyame beye enye nyabonsam na ye nyame beye mentality and no na ma ya dwan soft to the point say even umu obode so ukwa so na so umu oboni an kofie we hu nyame.
Quantity no say no na ye.
All right, what the main concept and I was watching something on YouTube, and there was this guy, who was a white guy, and he was talking about Africa and then Europe and all these things. Now he says something. What do you call YouTuber here or say Africa is free? Or no one will not saw ye didn't buy as a military man. One of these countries, now want to unit now African something. I don't know to African something and yeah Africa for now. Why I say yeah every African unit. Send yes Africans in the year one unit maybe a yanko bon. Or since then that there's a why to say outcast of the yes they don't support what is Obro new. If you and he said something. I see I'm just gonna ask you on your interview, I'm going to ask you a question. Ask them at me this way. Tell me the truth. What do you think? What has United States offered Africa? What has United States offered Africa? LGBTQ.
LGBT, whatever they call it.
Okay. More, let's say, would you say Obo Africa? You trade with them perfectly, because the same way now you're trading with China, you trade with them, they give you your stuff, you give them back whatever they want, and 50-50. No, but you are not giving them what, but you want always, Nkrumah time, no? Now I want Shipu Cocoa to here. You know what Nkrumah did? Nkrumah cut that thing off, and he started burning cocoa in Ghana. So be a Nima. Go there and look. If for so one, my one upgrade, Emma, in scan cocoa, in scan Eba, so on sana.
Nigeria is a country in a rush. Its Trans-Sahara gas pipeline that's been on hold for decades is now active.
No, I'm not playing a innocent player. It you said, oh yes, I didn't know. Emma Brofuno, Ebinya or time we win for those things, because cocoa, no. Ye cocoa no be sisa me. Modi mobile no was cocoa no modi akwa ye de mope because when you want the raw materials in your country. You're British for you too gold or Britain.
So you go to Nina
Queen no, I will billions and billions of gold. I will if ye.
Yeah, move from rain. You say on him farmer.
And that's one of the man.
Ay, baby,
Asante or something.
Asante gold. Ya design
queen.
Ya design or the cool plane or be market yes so at the end of the cool plane.
Yeah.
Give me out to the point say na agree.
It the same leaders now not one honor. What you say? To say no more British for a cassie per year. The point to cry will be cast as say attenting African leaders. Yeah, African summit. Near African leaders in about Washington DC. I didn't know more Africa for no monko Africa, monko summit no Africa.
It's in Libya. I Gaddafi tears in open, so yes, I don't know. But I want to man a coin.
Yeah, oh, come, US. Oh,
Gaddafi wanted to do that.
Yes,
but Gaddafi, no.
Obia obey Saudi we say no.
Yes.
And I mean, say, it's me your move because when a ball or him by.
Yeah.
So the call for no omaging ain't stronger and I almost spirit in stronger. Or him no. Only to me be Gaddafi, who says say Libya for almost soon.
Oh, bre.
Afi omo who say papa ipo na ko ye nyamio. But this is what ignorance does. This is what the few who know the truth don't speak, no. Cause it.
For girlfriend, if you are also girl with a mentano. Next time you are going to obedient and sat to the common or qua, which means Jageri pa.
So, and that is what has happened. It's, to a very large extent. I always say, the very few of us now, it doesn't even matter. It could be just a single sentence. Patrol, speak about it. It has never helped us. And at this point in time in history, we are at a very critical point. For China and Russia to be also fighting for Africa, and also who said there's something critical that's about to happen. And when this happens now, it will be done for good.
But me check it. Niger foreigners say they want the France out and the Russians in.
Yes.
The Russian force be Roma. Is it not the same?
No, it's not the same. It's not the same thing.
It's not the same. Yeah,
it's not the same thing.
Mama, tell me about 1 minute. 1 minute. In 1889, you Cynthia, 1889, Ethiopia defeated Italy. In 1889, would you go back to history? It was Kelly last time we talked about this. Country Ben help Ethiopia, Mamu defeated Italy in 1889. It was the Russians and the Mao ammunitions it took to them to train them to fight and defeat Italy. So Russians ne person can won't fight Ethiopia. Okay, as simple as that, because Russians were more powerful than Italy. And the way now they will go, Russia don't have to go through the Suez Canal to come to your friend is saying Ethiopia to take over. Chile country Ben and Russia for colonize Africa. Cynthia, maybe country Ben and the war and now if say Russians and then won't me MFA countries in Africa now. Because they weren't interested. They weren't interested, cry. But when it sounds said they didn't have anything beyond one country, and then they came to Africa, and one started to say one from no my Adebia na pin down on the they took it. And I want to say so as slaves at the bar one country, maybe a building one crew now at the mountain. I tell you, Mr. Way in drop so say no country ben na wo dwen say obeboa wo wiase ha. First of all, sika won di mo francophone countries in which was $20-something billion no won dey ache won. Anything na Europe for no sika Africa for no di mo ho no ade na ache won. Why not?
That is the question.
Why not we should say obeboa. China for no one buy no. China for no so one pay bibi. But one did normal back room. They are building a roads. Let me road to burn a US fire or Africa. Hospital burn a US fire Africa, dear my. And now said, dear school burn yet to just in be a Yancy Zika, Yandy a lot of quine a year. Why am Africa? apart from that, we see AIDS, the mom, AIDS, the mom, you can't see a mom. Kamala Harris by Africa. The whole, you know, I see one mama $100 and something million, $100 and something million.
Obi,
the crew crowd $100 my
Mami Canada, Obi di over $20 billion at multiple countries, or the achieve some fact. We are or supply grains. Or supply with fuel. Or supply with grains also no. Shinkan or transportation cost. Or no one is transportation.
What Russia for no dear. Me feel say, look, Kwame Nkrumah time no cry. He decided say, what officer want you better. Kwame Nkrumah decided say one crop want you better because who said they want and the person want no trade. We know the it's one on the basis you.
Bako eba as a partner. Bako eba as a bully. Mama, ube chusuwe.
Well, yes, we go for the one that is who has good intentions. Or your partner, of course, you
go with the person or no, wow. And yet you obey. And then as we speak, you know, who said North Korea for North Korea? I send the ammunitions to Burkina Faso. North Korea.
So
when no one sign treaty, say more attacking one. One of the other one say, see, I can't Jimmy for we are Simuha.
Jimmy Silby.
Or no, the walk home. One in number one. Or no, on Keo. Who to a better? So to say, it is a Ghana for some moon. Namuko attack Burkina Faso as we say was Roa. I want to bet just a bed destroying country just like that because nuclear weapons no will be. Or to Japan. I didn't know Japan for one struck one this. Or to all the time. What testing at the
on testing
will be or testing my cartoon zone.
I acquire cartoon zone.
Yes,
no more say.
Or 2% so bet me at one marble room to a beton more. No dinner or to a beton zoom. And they to know or track or strap or Chile say, obey me at Wadiano, Abba, what to be a mic I can do US, the winning one.
I know. Now,
I didn't know will be end someone won't attacking one. To say, we say, Ukraine, France, Germany, all these things. No, there's one thing I need to be in him. Sa oil now won't come one embargo ni one now 1 year Russia for. Do you think say they you know what they can one now? And can Bibi on person on the Soviet for the Russia for the US no oil and gas and can sanctions now 1 year no and no they won't pay. But sanctions now, some of them are still trading with the Soviet Russia for no.
They have no choice. At the end of the day, no. The most important activity in any community society is commerce, economics. So, idea that but I say be before you test say. Oh, and because I anticipated, I said, I don't know for buying. He started moving very swiftly towards industrialization. He started moving towards it. He started building a lot of industries. Ghana was importing workers.
So now you need a normal operated those kind of machines. So, as an import to
yes,
we are doing all those things.
No, like workers from Cote d'Ivoire, from Benin, from Nigeria, they were coming to work in our factories.
Me endorse.
So, had we continued that way, no, by this time, where would we be?
Okay, of course, one of the industrial.
Yeah, because the most important is that we had and we still have the resources, which is the most important. Only resources now, that was establish a business.
School waterman. Let me go school waterman, middle school. Let me go tema. Now, me wafa, me uncle, and no ye Ghana a printing press. Now, problem at that time, no printing textbooks. And Ghana whatever. Government need printing here. Their supply schools ni na Ghana. Na my uncle and the year general manager FNC Ghana the FNC CEO in charge of that. If you school air core baby an office or no. A best fancy if you have air core fancy for Walmart. It means nanti. Now what I do then say I will go to the office just to clean up a EBA before so because you know mama be a 2 CDs be. At that time 2 CDs was a very very part to me. 2 CDs. Because who wait me a hold 2 CDs for a student there, a primary school in there. I did have a better be a kotogungunte or broidene kaka. 2 CDs. Because maybe I make on my cleaning office home and that's so me call me okay, maybe a 5. You're but or the better to go to Goma obey no dear mommy. I was happy to say cool ni buy and a ni feel. Obia Oye, director of a printing press. Mu yine if you help for what? To do what?
To
do what? So, because Obia Ohono, a person owns a Ghana. No, I did back one Ghana for one. I am not a few saying that they be a me catch on. Who printed t-shirts? Miss me print TB. Why do I have to say, okay, Kelly, or 20 t-shirt, I don't want to the person in the Becassa. Or 20 t-shirt. Miss me, we know the number of people that work room. The number of people that work room. We know how many people have printed t-shirts at work room. Who bet me a printed t-shirt crowd online?
Cooperative business. And I was on the same now can know any. I know the same with that.
So see, if we send boom.
Yeah, that is the unity is not there.
Hey, does that mean what making a printed BBA, a Kelly ain't mean printing? Maybe I can simple as that. Kelly, who made me a printy t-shirt bear 20 amame because me here is also okay, making a printy. You just say, oh yeah, maybe I'm about 5 CDs per t-shirt. Maybe they come on if I'm gonna be a 6 CDs per t-shirt. Now, me embroidery. Maybe I Kelly, oh here, say embroidery. I'm not with the embroidery machine. It didn't mean they say me, I have to go back to school and learn the whole thing over again before say I'll be able to do it. Embroidery can give me money because embroidery machines when the caps and all that. No.
Yes, so projects we are
this is how some of the things now. You bet to me like Ghana then the year call a say and the guy and catch them here and we'll do some t-shirts be with that African food festival. No, you bet me at home. I'm uncropping. You know, I'm coming to some kind of agreement. You're 100, I'm being 50, and being 50. Numbers and you're being 70, but we are providing our t-shirts and all that. No, we catch a guy, no, or catch a boyfriend back 1 year, and I'm a guy. So, these are some of the things Ghana for no, I did back one way,
Pesamicuminya, that I can say, Pesamicuminya.
Obi oha onyeska me ka se me papa ka wo de Cynthia ya bisa gogu me papa ka jawo ya say obi wo oba say ne papa e wo ska no ade mo papa enyeska duro no
ai ko we na ya no ka
no papa akoji ska duro
no chire ska duro
no papa say wo koji ska duro a wo papa so koji ohia duro
no
so what you say me akoji ska duro wo papa so koji ohia duro. What is the difference? We just get through the Yemeni. Also, Papa just get because at Jebian we have something to say negative things about everything here we do.
I dream in that. It's and I make canon, sister. I dream. Transform your mind. Away a decrease symbol. It's our dream. It's be I wa hebiano. And I make us say nipa 20%. Now yes, I say you move here. In society, no, a beba. I was say society. I was say in Kwan, assassin. Very important because all the way to that line as well. It's everything. Grow seriously.
So let me ask the question before I leave. Okay, so okay, I know say ECOWAS for no were involved and my deadline has passed. What are they going to do? And
Nothing.
Two, let me see one baby only agree. I was reading something, they agree on a timetable, say one be a transition. Is it going to come on and finally say all fields are all animal way in failure. Are they going to military intervention is coming in what? And that is
Listen,
Cynthia, scenarios I'm just reading over it.
Cynthia, Mikasa Guinea, which was that time Nekufu no yeah, Ecowas said. No crowd here or Bomodia alcohol and microphone for transit, echo kind. And the one say the time will come, they will hand over everything to a civilian rule. But what they want, for the French, to leave. They made it perfectly clear to him that they want the French to leave. The same thing went to Mali. They said they want the French to leave. One by election, but they want the French to leave. And Niger, the Burkina Faso, and all this, it's like domino effect. The same thing, the Arab Spring next year,
Thank you.
Same thing, and it happened with these people. So Arab Springs, they said they were having problems with their leaders, and they are having problems with their leaders.
Sri Lanka.
All these things,
because it's you. I think, say, if my memory will serve me right, I think, say 2017 and we say ECOWAS for now they use military force to restore constitutional order or Gambia, if I'm not a year.
Gambia,
when they refused to step down after losing the election.
Okay, you know what happened? They went in there. They didn't go to restore the but they went there not to one said one could restore. They went there purposely. They said they had to keep peace because there were two people fighting. They did the best thing. They said, "Well, lose the election now. You have to go."
Okay,
that was it. They didn't go to force them. Say, "Chinchina, this guy has to be." It's not their duty, but they went there to separate them. To make
Sri Lanka
sure
had a similar situation to what is happening. Okay.
When the people decided, say, they won't allow.
Also, what happened?
So what I'm hearing is
very important. So say, by yourself, not much can happen. But when a lot of us, me research, me meditation, they actually say, God, now, your friend. Also, that when 2 or 3 people come together, I am there. When 2 or 3 of us come together, we have invited that entity, we have weaponized that entity called God. Yes, if I do good unto you, Noah, I have done it for God. So in that sense, it means to say, when all of us come together and we become of one accord, moving in the same direction, Noah, especially if that direction is purpose for goodness, Noah. Nyame no a yɛhwehwɛ no ɔno na yɛn nyinaa na yɛayɛ together no abɛyɛ nyame no. And I was saying Africans, that concept, that principle, yɛde to your team. Yɛte ase sɛ until say your best sorry, and as much as possible, every single time we do our best to inform ourselves with knowledge, and then we disseminate that knowledge about among us. It will continue and will get worse. We have to accept that responsibility. We have to bring pressure to bear so that these people that we are from, it's a public servant. So how have the servants now become the ones who are served? We call these people public servants. So how is it that a public servant will go and sign a deal that will bring more money to him and his tribe and his family than the rest of the country?
So what is the guarantee?
Who are they
Say the
serving?
next
Are they
person,
serving themselves or are they serving us?
what is
It's
the
really,
guarantee?
I
Say
mean, that's
the
my 2
next
cents. I
person is
suppose say
quality.
we have to come to terms with the fact that until we, the people, what kind of the American Constitution? It started with we, the people, and I guess the U.S. Constitution is that we, the people. So we, the people, are the ones who actually bring these things to bear. It will say, yes, that is my 2 cents.
Okay, Mami Canada, your last word because your time has soon.
Maybe me peace in because you see your friend is saying how do I put it? You know na wo pom ho. Enti no ato obaako no okwan be ne be fa so a ye be prevent say happen in no yen so because wo for say enye wo enuru Ghana and enuru whatever.
Well, anyway, there's a bonfire because you know say a domino effect.
I believe in prayer, but we do need to do the physical stop.
Well, so Onipakuno wanye the so yeah, so wanye the so yeah. In any country, be yeah na for farming so bo how opese oye de oye ku any bebre air queen you ha nkofo ha they are planning those things no. And the idea be and say a mom empire mu they say a country ni be state because ku wo in e ba e normal bebre na next year no Kuvado the time aso na whoever comes in no no na oman enye ye so far the country na ubia udi oko ubia say peaceful esane ehwehwe no do na normal bebre nko ye de but ye peaceful. Antino Kelly, your last word.
It's here for as usual. There was a step with me joining in every single time. But the idea I kind of say if it's up to be, it's up to you and I. And I always push the concept of the idea say you are a God and a child of the Most High. Yeah, come and tell them. Come. You are a God and a child of the Most High. Yeah, say it.
I am a God and a child of the Most High.
Yes. You are a God and a
child of the Most High.
Yes. So you are a God and a child of the Most High.
Yes.
Extremely important, say, you better accept this responsibility. No? Out of that concept flows everything. The Ecowas West Africa, no? Okay. My fervent hope and desire, say, it will bring a wind of change through Africa. It is my fervent hope. And most of these school leaders were bloodless schools.
Say, just step down.
So a bloodless school. So it should tell you, say, there's something going on in the country. But as usual, they are using propaganda to make it seem, say, if it's not from the West, no, and the papa. Why the bit me born the Buaka say Osadifo was a curse for Ghana? Why the bit me asem? Was Osadifo a democratic leader? He was not. A Rwanda, any democracy in the war, Egypt, any democracy in the war, Oko a friend China, any democracy in the war. Are they dying?
Egypt joining break.
Aha. It's you know, I mean, me wrap it up on that. Basically, no, I was here to say we are gods and children of the Most High. Number two, make kasa about BSI. I took advantage of this discussion to discuss a BSI, principles that I didn't want. Basically, Black Star Revolution, a movement per se unite Africa and African diaspora. And we empower Black people through knowledge, business, and social impact projects. Mimi Diane say, we African business, when you're making profits, and the goal is to use some of your profits to help your people. If African businesses were doing this now, I doubt to say our governments will be borrowing as much as they are borrowing. Because African businesses make money. But many me busu yape. NABD. So it's very important. Say, we be joining, and I will support the Black Star Revolution. Wait me share online www.bsrmovement.com on IG and Facebook. BSR Movement. We who your logo yi, that logo yi or who pay patron followers. Please share with your friends. And also, when you get a chance, please purchase our wares. Some of your caps that I want to buy my embroideries, no, maybe who need a contract. Not just embroideries, no, buy my. Oh, this is us working together.
Thank you. And the basic here, and next week, so at twice something. And this week, no more than so bachelor were done for no actually, tell a friend to tell a friend. Na yen saying share you na yenye the SSA ye. Obi anyone do in country no yenya yedo in country Ghana. And next week, a best share POs. A video you see, that's a man tea and can be at the moon. Share the video. Thank you.